Right, guys, we are live. The reason for this live chat is to discover which AFL team I should support and why. So I'm leaving this open to my subscribers and viewers of the Don's channel who are viewing it due to the AFL content. Hello, Shando boy 12345. You're very welcome. I'm drinking out of my daughter's macho frozen mug cup of tea. Hello there. Hello. Hello everyone that's joining. The question on this live stream is, which AFL team should I support, my family support, and why? Which AFL team and why? Fremantle. Why? Why do you say that? Frozen, yeah, that's my daughter's frozen mug. Indonesia, yes. If Indonesia had an AFL team, I would definitely watch them. So I've been a lot of times. Essendon has been pointed out for the fact that the nickname is the Dons, and obviously the Dons channel. So somebody's put that link in, and I've also commented in a couple of videos that I like their jersey with a red sash that goes across it. So it's pretty cool. You're the best fella. Thanks very much for that. I seen that comment earlier, and I did actually mention back to you that I appreciated that comment. So thanks very much. So I hope you're all having a good day. Anyway, everybody that's joining, I know this is not just people from Australia that's going to be tuning in. I've got Indonesian supporters here of the channel. Thanks very much for joining this session. I hope you're enjoying the AFL as well. As I say, this channel actually covers a huge and wide variety of different things. Australian, so we've got an Australian as well. Yep, and they said you said Fremantle, but you never actually said why I should like them. Apa kabar, Boss Q. So there's an Indonesian, so we've got a few Indonesians as well. There's been a few people trying to get me to like a couple of the Adelaide teams. I've actually got a guy that's funded my AFL app that I've got. I can go online and watch live AFL. So it's a live AFL channel that they have themselves. The Don Father is my name. So he supports Port Adelaide, and he was kind of encouraging me to like them. I've had a couple of people that wanted me to like Geelong. I've also had a couple of people who have wanted me to like the Hawks. So there's been a wide variety, but there's a lot of people mentioned Essendon, so I'm not sure just who I should support. I'm actually enjoying it across the board. It's a great channel. It's been a great sport, to watch on the channel, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. I'm getting confused with what I'm talking about here. Sorry about that. Maybe drink some more tea. Right, my macho frozen mug. Only men drink out of frozen mugs. Men, real men. It's the oldest AFL team, so it's one of the original AFL teams, I suppose. One of the oldest. I kind of picked up on that, and that's fine. So they're one of the oldest AFL teams. I did a video yesterday of, I can't actually say his name, Tipung Witi. Double-barreled name actually. So Anthony McDonald Tipung Witi, I think you pronounce him. He played for Essendon. He looked like quite a good player. I think he's still playing today. People said he's not really a legend. That's a bit of a bold statement. He's a good player, but he's not like brilliant. There's quite a lot of suggestions for a few current players as well, and obviously older players. So I'm looking forward to doing them, and I will be covering them all the suggestions that I can get through. I will be trying to do it. It's quite difficult. I probably should be doing a couple of reactions now, but I can't really, like, I've sat down now, I want a cup of tea and just relax, because you've got to edit all the video and then try and make it all and then download them and stuff. So it can be a little bit more work, as you might not see behind the scenes, to do them. So I just wanted to engage with the audience, and I had a question. So who else here got TNA Indonesia? Yes, I'm making quite a few TNA. I'm not too sure exactly what that translates to in English, but yeah, I make quite a few TNA videos. Did Capasas. I did a sniper one today, which was good. Actually, was a badge sniper myself, so watching that there and seeing their own sniper rifles was quite interesting. I think the first one you were saying was a 7.62mm weapon, which Bahasa Indonesia. I'm sorry, I don't speak Bahasa Indonesia, but I do know a little bit. Not very good at it, but I hope if you can even do a bit of Google Translate and put the thing on, I might be able to answer a question that you have. If you Google Translate it from Indonesian to English for me and put it up, I'll try and answer it. Yeah. So I know it's quite late where you are. You know, you're about 11, 12 o'clock at night. So, I'm not too sure what a couple of these things mean. Apologies for that there. So I've did the sniper one. I'm not sure if PT Pindad actually make those sniper rifles for Capasas for the Indonesian military, TNA, or if it's a foreign arms manufacturer that does it. Demolition Derby is another one that's been requested several times, and I will be looking to do it. What two teams is that's involved in the Demolition Derby? I do know it, I just can't think off the top of my head because I'm learning so quick that it's still quite a lot to take in, and I'm still not 100% with each. Obviously, the Demolition Derby is the title of an exact Fremantle and West Coast. So, where do West Coast play their games out of? What city or state? And Fremantle? Obviously, it's a derby, so they're obviously in the same city, I presume, or state at least. It's something I'm learning a little bit more about. You've got different state football leagues as well as the AFL, so it's Western Australia, right? No problem. Thanks very much. Something I'm learning that you've got South Australia as well has its own football league, as well, don't they? So obviously you play in that, and then you play in the AFL as well. So you've got the smaller teams obviously playing that as well. I'm not 100%. This is something I'm learning. Quite a few people have mentioned, oh, they play in this league and that league, and it can be quite confusing. So it's Western Australia Football League. How does it work? They go from, is that like a smaller, like interstate or province or whatever tournament, like they play in a football league and then they go on and play in the AFL, or are they all play in the AFL? Smaller teams involved in it's interstate, they play each other, and is it only the bigger teams that play in the AFL then from each state? Because surely there's a lot of small ones. Thanks very much for anybody who's saying that they've subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate your support, and it's only the bigger teams, yeah. As I say, we do really appreciate it, and I try my best to go through all the comments as well and get back to everyone, because without the support there is no channel. 100 years ago, not too sure what that means. Less Australians on this stream than or on this live session than there has been before, because I've got quite a few that's asked me to do different reactions to different players. A lot of them wrote down, a lot of the videos are actually downloaded. It's just now going to have to find some time, sit down and do the reactions and learn a little bit more about them as well. I think I'm going to have to do that as well. It is late at night. It is very late at night. You're talking about quarter to 12, is it, in Australia where you are? Quarter to 12 at night? Possibly. We're sitting at quarter to 4 in the afternoon, early evening, afternoon, late afternoon, quarter to 4, sorry. Now, my local time here. Is there anybody that would be interested in seeing sports locally to where I am as well? Because I know there's been several times that's been mentioned on the channel, but when I have done it, it doesn't necessarily get the same interest as when I do the videos of what people have subscribed to the channel for in the first place, whether it's been football ultras or the AFL, or if it's been geography or something like that we've done. When I've come to do my own local stuff, it doesn't seem to get the same attention. So it's one of those things that I'm not too sure about. Should I do it? Should I not? I'm not 100% sure myself. English. English stuff. Is that what you want? I'm not too sure what you mean when you say just English. Do you want English content done? English Football League? I can talk about it now if you like. English Football League. Well, obviously Manchester City have won the treble, first domestic treble ever won in English football, which is quite fascinating really on its own. So they're absolutely outstanding football team right now. Quite a lot of reasons why I don't cover the English League. It's because there's quite a lot of people doing it, and also copyright infringements, etc. There's a lot of money pumped into the TV stuff over down in England. Think Channel. Interesting. City are a very, very good side. Probably, in my opinion, Manchester City are potentially... I mean, it'll take a few years of dominance to basically say, yes, this is a fact. But I believe what you're witnessing right now with this Manchester City team is possibly the greatest ever football team in English football history. And I think if Liverpool were going to do it, they would have done it this year. Next season, it's going to be quite difficult. I can see City strengthening further, providing they don't get FIFA financial fair play regulation. Like obviously they could be breaking financial fair play rules. They might possibly face sanctions against them, such as possible bans from Europe, possible transfer bans, which might harm them next year. But I think they've got the squad there anyway, and also the youth that they've got coming through there is quite incredible as well. So I think they could be around for a very, very long time at the top. But I think you are witnessing the best football team in English football history right now in Manchester City, even though they haven't done it in Europe yet, but domestically, yes. Yeah. So I don't know if there's any people right now that's in this live stream who have any English clubs that they support. I'm happy to talk about them. I know quite a bit about English football. I support a Scottish side. This is actually the Scottish national team jersey. You might have seen me on opening this up on a parcel that was sent to me. What team do you support then in England? Did Steve Clarke get the Scotland manager's job? I never actually read that. I don't like Steve Clarke. He's a good enough manager. I think he'll make Scotland quite hard to beat. Will they play nice football under Steve Clarke? Absolutely not. I don't really like him as a person. I think he's a dick. But personalities don't matter. If he does a good job for Scotland, that's all that really matters. But he's a dreary-faced, miserable man. I don't personally like him, as I've said, but I wish him all the best in the job, because if he does a good job, then I'll be happy, because Scotland might actually be doing something okay. But I think what we can expect from that appointment is a very defensive side that will be hard to beat. They won't play nice stuff. If they do win games, it'll be pure boredom. It'll be about 70 minutes of what made me like European football team. What European football team do you mean? I support Rangers, which is a Scottish team. Yeah, well, I just off the off chance because the reason why I'm doing the AFL, as you already know, because I know you follow it anyway, on the channel is the sheer volume of requests right now. But there's a lot of people trying to get me support their club, so I thought let's do a live stream and ask them. But I've done it a bit late, so I've never really thought this through. But never mind, it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying talking. I enjoy talking about sports. Um, it's enjoyable to get to engage with the subscribers and people who view the channel as well. I do really enjoy doing that, so it's win-win for me. um, so Steve Clark, whatever. Scotland are pish anyway. I can't remember. I think when this top was actually the original top back in 1998, was the last tournament we ever went to, France 98, and well, it was all right. It was the opening. Scotland played Brazil in the opening match of that World Cup. We went 1-0 up. We were beating Brazil, who were the world champions from 1994 in the USA. They had a great team though, didn't they, Brazil? And we opened the score and went 1-0 up. Everyone was looking all right, and then Tom Boyd, who played for Celtic, scored an OG. I think it came off him and it went into the back of the net, and it finished 1-1 with the world champions, which wasn't too bad. That was probably our last team that you could say was all right. Since that, we've went from worse to terrible to awful. We had a little bit of a spell where we thought we could actually qualify for a tournament, and then we realised, nah, you're Scotland, you can't qualify for anything, you're absolutely shit. Just remember where you belong, and that is right down the pecking order with like Kazakhstan, who are actually even better than us as well. They beat us 3-0, so I think maybe like in Gibraltar, San Marino, Faroe Islands, that's kind of Liechtenstein. These are kind of the countries that we need to be thinking about. Can we beat? I'm not convinced we can. But do you know what? We'll sing our team on, and that's all that matters, isn't it? Having a good time, having a drink, sing song. Who cares about the scoreline? We're never going to win a major tournament. We've only got 5 or 6 million people, but we enjoy it anyway. But Steve Clark will bring crap football to Scottish national team. Why you like your team? Right, okay. My team is Rangers in Glasgow. Very historical club. 1872 they were founded. The establishment club of Scottish football. They're one of the establishment clubs of the Champions League. The 8 stars that are on the Champions League, Rangers Football Club were one of those stars, so they were one of the clubs that actually started the Champions League, although they'll probably never get a chance to compete in it again properly, given the financial gulf between them and the European elite leagues, which is a shame really, considering their fan base is global. They've got about 9 million to 10 million supporters, I believe, the last time I checked, worldwide. A British club, Scottish club, but British, very strong in that respect, British club minded, probably the most British club in Britain, to tell you the truth. More British than English club. Love their forces, love their armed forces. The most successful team in football. They've won more trophies than any other football team in the world. They've won more league titles than any other football club in the world. They've won more domestic trebles than any other football club in the world. So they've got quite a lot of records. I think they were the first British club ever to reach a European final as well. So they've got a few records. I mean, they're not competing with the giants of Europe. But again, we really, really hold on to our history. And it's something even today that will never be allowed to be forgotten. We're playing an old stadium, Ibrox Stadium. It's a listed building. It was one of UEFA's first ever 5-star criteria rated stadiums. It's one of the best football stadiums on planet Earth. In actual fact, I'm going to say it's number 1 because the modern day stadium is a metal shed with no atmosphere, cheaply made by modern day designers who have got all these ideas of fancy bars that sell salad to football fans and cheese boards, whereas we like a pie and a pint and an old-fashioned stadium that generates noise down onto the pitch. Old-fashioned historical club that loves our roots. I hope that helps you find me an AFL team. Is there enough information there to help you find me an AFL team? I kind of dragged that one out a bit there, eh? Well, they are probably the most fanatical fans in the English Premier League from the videos that you would see, but I would say the most fanatical fans in England is actually Leeds United. They've got the best away travelling support to any football ground in the whole of England. They take the most fans to any other ground in England. They're again one of the old historical clubs, aren't they? One of the best teams in English history. Obviously they've been down the divisions a while, so I would actually say Leeds are more fanatical than Crystal Palace, but in the English Premier League I would agree with that statement. I like Crystal Palace supporters. It's one of the last old school type stadiums where the fans are on top of you. They've always got flags and banners, they're cheering, they're singing. It's quite a noisy stadium to go to. I quite like their fans, to tell you the truth, yeah. Good fans, Palace. But probably the smaller London club out of all the teams in the Premier League from London. Thanks for the question. I'm not sure what AFL team's going to get suggested to me based on all that drivel I just spoke about Rangers. It wasn't drivel, it was actually factual. But I again, with my own personal opinion put in there too. I know that you said Essendon was an old club, so I'm thinking that you're maybe going to put them in there. And also, people keep saying the Dons, the Dons. Funny thing is, there is actually a team in Scotland whose nickname is the Dons, and I absolutely despise them. They're Aberdeen Football Club. I do not like that football club whatsoever. Their nickname's the Dons, so it doesn't necessarily work well for me, that. I have 18 teams to choose from in the AFL. I think in my head about, yes, that's exactly what they are. I'm not going to say it out loud, but that's exactly what they are. Correct animal lovers. Right, I'm going to narrow my AFL teams down to, well, I'm ruling Collingwood out, and the reason being, I was told with the Mason Cox story, which I absolutely love, by the way, this guy coming from America. I've said it a few times in a few videos. You know the story yourself, being an AFL fan. He came from America, playing women's basketball, to now starring in grand finals, I think, or even, no, maybe it wasn't a grand final. He definitely starred in Anzac Day. I think, no, it was a grand final, sorry. They did play in at Collingwood, apologies. And he done well. So, great story that there, but a lot of Americans have adopted Collingwood as their team since that. That's what I've been told anyway. So, I'm going to rule them out, because I'm not one to copy the Yanks. You know, they kind of add like a cheesy element to things, don't they? The American, even though I really like American people, they're very, very friendly people. They're good people, but they can be quite. They come across as quite false and dramatic, don't they? So if they're going to attach themselves onto that, I couldn't imagine me sitting in the Collingwood stand beside maybe a few Americans giving it the OMG. That's no me, man. No, let's keep this shit real. Let's keep the reactions real. Let's keep it all normal. Like, for example, if you're American and you're walking past somebody and he's eating a burger and they go, "Burger, man, awesome, super awesome." What is super awesome about a fucking burger? It's a burger, mate. This is the kind of thing I mean, like, very dramatic people, very over the top, but I like them. I really do have a lot of time for Americans. I'm not completely tearing them apart here. I'm just having a bit of fun. Reasons to become a Fremantle Dockers fan. Hit me with them. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this. Underdogs, which is a good thing. Everyone backs the underdog, which is good, because end of the day, when everybody likes to see giant killing, giant slaying, everybody's going to write the Fremantle Dockers off if I don't know if they're a smaller club, if they got like less money or whatever, smaller recruitment pool of players to choose from. I don't know, but they're obviously underdogs. Can't be called a bandwagoner because we're never good, which is a good point. So that's a very good point. Underdogs, and you can never go, you're jumping on the bandwagon. Only 25 years old. They're a new club as well, right? So you wish them all the best. I mean, I don't know if they've ever won a grand final or anything like that yet. Have they won anything major, like national, like nationwide yet? Where you go, or is it just a case of they've won like local stuff, maybe state stuff, interstate? No, they haven't. So have they won anything interstate? Actually, surprisingly, you'll be surprised, I have quite a few people mentioning Fremantle Dockers to me, so they're quite a passionately supported little club there, even if they're underdogs. That's quite good. Go Freo, that must be the nickname then. Fremantle won grand final a couple of years ago. So they did win the grand final. Wow. Young club. They've won a final already, which is quite good. I mean, somebody's saying no. No. Laughing out loud. Maybe they're winding me up. I don't know what's happening here. That's a lie. Up above. That's a lie. They entered but haven't won yet. Entering's winning. They entered it. Maybe that's winning. Anyway, at the end of the day, like, young club, small club, obviously a passionately supported little club there. I quite like that. Underdogs is a good thing. Interesting. They play in navy and white, don't they, I think? Never won a 5-7, not gonna lie, it's pretty tough being a Dockers fan, but I gotta stay loyal. I know exactly what yous are talking about here. Oh, no problem there. We're making a mistake. That's fine. But this is good because I was actually thinking, right? I was narrowing it down. So Collingwood was a no-no for me because Americans have attached themselves onto that, and I couldn't follow their suit. I'm not going to be a sheep and follow the Americans. Although I do respect Collingwood, I quite like the look of their coach. He looked like a badass, and Mason Cox's story was pretty good. Black and white stripes. They're not so bad, but I'm ruling them out. Up the Hawks, somebody said. Good team, very good team. I've liked some of the stuff I've seen from them too. So it's very pessimistic approach there. Expect the worst, and then the best is anything you get that's good as a bonus, isn't it? So that's quite good advice. I initially watched some of the fighting videos, which you might be aware of if you've been watching the channel, and I absolutely fell in love with this. I was like, this is fucking brilliant. They're smashing each other here, and I noticed the Western Bulldogs. They had a different name. Somebody told me today, and it's completely slipped my mind what the name of it. They used to be called a different name anyway, and they're now obviously the Western Bulldogs. I like the strips being red, white, and blue. Rangers colours. I thought that's quite cool, and it looked like the old Sampdoria kit, which are quite Footscray. That's who they are. Melbourne were founded in 1859. Oh my word. That's an old club, yeah. 1859, they're possibly one of the oldest ones. Equals Bulldogs, yeah. So I quite like them for the colours, but I did point out that's probably not a good reason to support a club. So if they were one of the two that I thought, are they quite good there with the colours? I liked the Essendon sash top, and obviously they played in the game that I watched. Anzac Day, highlights of Anzac Day against Collingwood. So they stood out for me as well. I've covered one of their players, sorry. Seen them in a fight earlier on there. I'm going to retake the video and do it again and do it properly, and I'm going to put it onto the Dawn of World Sports. Line in the sand. Fucking hell. Line in the sand fights. extended edition or something it's called. Stay tuned for the dawn of world sports. That is different gravy. There was no football being played by the Hawks. Was it Hawks, wasn't it? In that at all. Demolition Derby is something I'm definitely going to cover, and I will like it. I know I will. It sounds awesome. Thanks for the requests. I appreciate all the requests as always. To watch 100 years of Australian football. Cool. How long is the documentary? How long is the documentary? Would it be too long to do a reaction, or is it something that I should watch and then pick things out of? Good suggestion there. I think everybody keeps saying Essendon to me. It's kind of pushing me in that direction, to tell you the truth. But I'm open to suggestions. I've got a friend there that's paying for my subscription to watch AFL, and he's actually a Port Adelaide man. He was like, stick with the Port Adelaide, mate. So there's quite a few folk giving me suggestions from all over. So not good necessarily. It's not good for a reaction. I was actually thinking about doing my homework on the AFL history anyway, and making my own video and talking about it. It's quite fascinating. I know a little bit about the history and how it was formed. It is interesting. There's a couple of English guys, I believe, kind of winter break or something like that, wasn't it, from the cricket? And they decided, right, we're needing to keep ourselves fit. And they kind of seen, I think, the Aborigine people playing this game. I think it was like a furry ball. I don't know what they were using. Like some animal stuff or something. I don't know what it was, but the Aborigines had been playing something, and they had a different name for the game. And they had seen this, but they decided to create their own thing, and the AFL was born out of this by cricketers. Something so far from like a contact sport, cricket, to the AFL is fucking barbarism. Absolutely crazy. Like medieval type fucking slaying each other back then, I could imagine. But these were actual cricketers. Cricketers! I mean, these guys are fucking pussies. They must be the craziest cricketers of all time. Absolutely brilliant. I love the story, so I'm going to dig into it a little bit more and find the true history and roots of it. I will definitely consider every team, and I can't really make a judgment until I've covered every team. I don't think that's fair, is it? But I'm taking a lot of these points on board. I quite like the underdog thing. That was quite interesting. You enjoy Michael. Cultural impact. Okay. I've seen somebody put in one about racism, not just in sport, but they were talking with AFL things about racism. I'm not too sure what it's getting at that was another thing. I don't know if that's with cultural, different types of backgrounds playing in the sport. Obviously, you've got the Aborigines, and then obviously just Australian people, white Caucasian Australians, playing the sport as well. So I'm not too sure if that's the cultural thing you're getting at. I quite like what I've seen from a couple of the Aborigine players, to tell you the truth. They seem to have a natural flair, don't they? I mean, for getting past a player, having a little quick feet and skipping away, being able to turn a man. Quite a spring in their step too. Which is quite common. Boo Eagles, somebody's put. So there's a bit of a rivalry going on in the comment section, which is quite cool. Thanks very much. I'll look it up and I'll try and watch it. I've got a few documentaries I need to watch, not just sport, so I'm going to be busy. Don't go for Essendon or Collingwood. Who would you suggest then? David, we're up. Claire Ash. Thanks. Is he an Eagles man? Okay, Aussie folk coming in now. This is good, because I went for a while there was no. It's Hawks. You're a Hawks man. Oh yes, you're Hawks. Good side. Obviously, there's some good players played for them. I've covered some of their stuff already. I'm learning quite a bit about loads of different players, which is interesting. Essendon was in a drug scandal a couple of years ago. What, like doping, like steroids, or what, pumping themselves up full of water? Performance enhancing drugs. As long as they weren't on that freaking ice stuff, that's crazy shit. I'm quite aware of that stuff actually. It's not really hit where we're from, but I know it's quite hit Australia quite hard, didn't it? Ice sounds like real fucking brutal stuff. Hopefully that I can get that shit under control, man, because I don't like hearing about stuff like that. It's okay, everybody knows about recreational stuff, you know, I mean it's gonna happen, but with that stuff, that shit ruins lives. So I don't know, I doubt sports stars would be on that, but you never know. I'd imagine it's steroids and stuff like that, performance enhancing stuff. Essendon, well, that's not cool if they're cheating that way. I'll try one Premier where. Wow! Ben Cousins had his ruin at life. Pickett and Houlihan's. Pickett and Houlihan's. Houlihan's sounds quite Irish, actually, doesn't it? Oh my word, that's crazy. So there has actually been a player who's been obviously addicted to drugs. I feel sorry for anyone that gets hooked on it. It's not really the person who I blame, it's the people that are selling this, making this crap. I've seen documentaries actually. In the UK, they've shown documentaries on Australia with them smoking that thing, and that's like a little glass thing, and it looks absolutely filthy, man. I know there's stuff in England that's kind of similar to it, and I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's spice, and you see them lying in doorways of shops. Absolutely no, they're not on the same planet as you. They can't even move, they're vegetated. It's horrific. They actually look like zombies, don't they? They look like zombies. It's a shame, really, people are like that. I do. I just read that he's released from prison. So look, you've got a guy that's been at the top end of sport, got onto this crap into his body, it's ruined his life. He's ended up in prison. Hopefully, he can turn it around. You know, hope the AFL will help him. He's obviously entertained people over the years as well. So, like, he's brought attention and enjoyment to the AFL. Hopefully, the AFL can help him. I mean, he never asked to get addicted to it, did he? I mean, Scotland has its problem with drugs too. I mean, Scotland's very bad, very, very bad for drugs, particularly heroin, things like that there. So he's maybe had some tough times as a youngster or whatever. I don't know. I will have to look that up. That's quite interesting to see, even in sport. And I know these things don't discriminate, no matter your background. You could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a sports star. You can get hooked to this stuff. But as I say, it's not the people we should be judging. It's not the people that it happens to we should be judging. It's the filthy scumbags that are putting it onto the streets. They need tackled. They should be ashamed of themselves. It's just my opinion. I don't care if I offend anybody with that. It's just, you know what I mean? As a father of 3 girls, I would hate to think that this stuff was available to them on the streets, and I would never let anybody away with trying to sell them it. Let's just put it that way. The Eagles tried very hard to help him. The AFL helped him as well. Oh, he actually won an award as well. My word, so he was a very good player. That's quite sad, really, isn't it? You see quite a lot of alcoholics in the sport, don't you? But obviously, this is a modern day thing now where you're getting this garbage and chemical shit. So, the Essendon thing, though, was it a doping scandal? That's one thing. I don't know if that was answered there. I got carried away with myself there. I'm gonna have to look this guy up though, man. That's an incredible story. Obviously, we've had big football stars like in the sport, like soccer, you would call it, like Paul Gascoigne. He played for Rangers, actually, my team, and he was absolutely the peak of his playing career, and alcohol, probably addictions at the time, and it was quite difficult to watch that. The ingredients, right? Uh, so he's kind of been moved up because he was younger, he had bags of talent, and then he's ended up with the wrong crowd of people older than him, and peer pressure led him into that. But, like, the mentality of Australians, this is what I was talking about. Like, when you think colonial, the British, um, colonial Britain, they ruled the empire. They went to like New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, America, Canada, all the kind of like English-speaking major countries around the world. And you look at America and Canada, they're quite different from the British and the Scottish, well, the Scottish in particular, aren't they? But the Australians are, when I talk to Australian people, they seem to be kind of wired the same mentality as British, particularly Scottish. They've got that mental screw loose as well. I don't mean that to be offensive. That's actually a compliment. I love that. Like, just crazy bastards. But passionate about sport. The Scottish are the same. Like a drink, we like a sing song, we like a bit of a party. I think they've got they're wired exactly the same way. I think that's why I've been drawn to the Australian sport here a lot. Really, really good. I think somebody's commented on courage when you talk about the British and the Australians. That is actually a good point. I went through some really tough times. He's recovered a great deal though. All right, you actually somebody local to you as well. It must be difficult, and I think this it goes hand in hand with being quite good at a sport or in life where you've succeeded and you've made a success of yourself, to kind of have it all stop, like retirement or whatever for the reasons for you stopping what you've been successful at. It's quite easy to probably go into some form of depression or mental health disorder and then find the bottle, isn't it? I can kind of see how that could happen. You know, again, I think when you put people on a pedestal like that, you put them up there and you're putting them into the entertainment industry like this, and you owe a duty of care of them to help them afterwards. Kind of, it's something similar to the military as well. They put you through all these situations, and then when you go, right, I'm getting out, they're like, right, we're done with you then. And then people start suffering from things, mental health disorders, post-traumatic stress, all the rest of it. It kind of is what happens when they don't look after you afterwards. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna be getting my tea soon, probably because in the 60s, large amount of Scottish United. And AC/DC, amazing. He was actually a Rangers supporter as well. I'm definitely gonna do Demolition Derby. I'll check out the best one. If there's a few of them, I'm not sure how many videos there is, and I'll download it and then I'll do a reaction to it. It sounds quality. So yeah, I'm gonna go there now. That was some good information about different teams. I'm still undecided. I'll do a little bit more homework. I'll watch a few more highlights, etc. Yeah, well, I'm not too sure of the background on that there. That's a nice opinion, a good opinion you've put in there of why you would be annoyed they were painted badly. But I don't know much about the story, so I can't really say too much. But I think if you try and help someone, but they're maybe not at the point where they want help, what can you do? As well, people will have to want to be helped. I'll definitely watch those documentaries. I've actually got another one. It's actually not AFL now. I'm going on to Danger Close, the Battle of Long Tan, which was obviously Australian military involvement in the Vietnam War. There's a documentary I'm going to watch of it. So there'll be no reaction to that. It's about 2 hours long, so I'm going to watch it. So there's a few documentaries, whether it's sport or that I'm going to watch, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Also, I'm looking forward to the movie release. We get it later. The directors assured me that, well, he said, watch this space. I presume it's going to be released in the UK. Fingers crossed, and I'll get a chance to watch that. Movie is coming out about Long Tan in August in Australia. Later on in the year in America, it has actually been given the go-ahead to go to the cinemas in America. Huge congratulations to him for that. I'm just awaiting him telling me that it's coming out in the UK, so I'm going to talk to him on Facebook and hopefully he'll tell me it's coming out in the UK. If not, he's going to have to let me buy a copy of it and get it while you watch it in Australia. Somehow, I'm going to have to watch it. But that was just the teaser that's come out, so I'm going to be reacting to the trailer as well, which should hopefully give us a little bit more footage of the movie. But I want to actually watch the documentary as well. And the movie does star Travis, Kimmel is his name, I can't remember his surname. He's in the Vikings, he is one cool mofo, isn't he? Ladies like him. So he'll be good to be in the movie as well. Hopefully it portrays the soldiers' experience. I think it will. It'll do a good job of what the soldiers had to experience. Yeah. Travis Fimmel, I said Kimmel. Who the hell's Kimmel? There's somebody Kimmel. Fimmel. Thanks. I knew it wasn't right when I said it, but Kimmel's one of the American guys. Doesn't matter. Thanks anyway, guys, for tuning in. That was good. No team picked as yet, but as I said, there'll be more highlights to watch at the weekend. Hopefully watch a live game this weekend as well, all being well. And just more and more reactions to come, and maybe I'll grow a fondness for a particular team, but I take all those opinions and comments on board. Somebody said, literally, do not do Essendon or Collingwood. So they did actually kick ass at Long Tan. I know a little bit about it. Obviously, New Zealand were sitting back. They put the artillery strikes in, so that's as much as my knowledge I know so far. Credit to them for being massively outnumbered. Shows a fighting spirit that they've obviously got as well, and the fear those guys must have went through is unbelievable. So I will look forward to that release anyway. Thanks very much, everyone. See you soon, and stay tuned for more AFL uploads. Demolition Derby's been told about 3 or 4 times, so don't worry about that. That will get done this week. I'm looking forward to it because it's obviously highly requested for good reason. You want to say bye to them? Hello and bye from Sarge. AFL Aussie rules. Boom.